Begin in child's pose, allowing your hips to drop to the floor. Let your head hang heavy. Make sure there's no tension in your neck. Plug your hands firmly in the ground so that they're still active. Become aware of your breathing. Deep inhale. Rise up onto all fours into tabletop, making sure your shoulders are over your wrists and your knees are over your hips. Take a few moments just to move side to side. And exhale as you arch your spine, reaching away from your body. And inhale as you allow your belly to be pulled to the ground. Taking a few breaths, doing your cat and cow movement, slowly loosening up your spine. Tuck your toes as you lift your hips up and back into your first downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet a little bit. Loosen up your hamstrings. Feel the stretch in the back of your knees. Reach your hips up towards the sky as you keep your hands planted firmly in the ground. Roll forwards into plank position, then slowly lower your knees, and then gently melt your stomach towards the floor as you come into a cobra. As you exhale, sit back into child's pose. Tuck your toes, lift up into plank, lower all the way down to your belly. Inhale up into baby cobra. Next, come into your locust, so lifting your feet off the ground and your hands behind your body, using the core, using your back strength. Your whole body is working as one, keeping your breath even, focusing on not holding your breath. Lifting those legs a little bit higher if you can. If not, just stay where you're comfortable. Lower your legs down. Place your hands underneath your shoulders as you lift your hips up and back into your downward facing dog. Roll forwards into plank. Lower your knees down as you gently lower your belly, allowing your hips to melt towards the ground. Tuck your toes as you lift back up into your downward facing dog. Roll your body forwards and gently chaturanga all the way down to the ground. This time interlacing your hands behind your back as you lift your hands and feet off the ground, coming into your full locust position. Again, engaging your glutes, engaging your core, actively reaching behind you with your hands. Release your grip as you place your hands underneath your shoulders and lift your hips up and back into your downward facing dog. Again, roll forwards, lower your knees as you allow your hips to melt towards the ground. Find a back bend that's comfortable for you, and then reach your hips back into child's pose. Tuck your toes. Lift up into downward facing dog. Roll forwards as you chaturanga all the way down. Once again, interlacing your hands behind your back and lifting your feet off the mat. Again, making sure that you're not holding your breath. Release the grip as you place your hands underneath your shoulders, lifting your hips up and back into your downward facing dog. Plugging your hands firmly into the mat, pressing as hard with your hands as you are with your feet. Bend your knees a little bit as you step to the front of the mat, finding a nice forward fold, allowing your head to hang heavy. Bend your knees as you roll your body up to standing. Inhale as you reach your arms up, and exhale as you gently fold forwards. Micro bending your knees if you have to. Inhale, find a flat back. And exhale as you place your hands flat on the ground. Lift your left leg slowly up behind your body in a supported warrior 3, making sure to square your hips. And then reaching your left arm up so that you come into half moon. As you can see, I have micro bend in my knees just to help with balance and support. Reach that left hand back down as you step your left foot back, coming into a low lunge. Reach your right hand up, this time finding an opposite twist, keeping your back leg active. Your left heel is reaching away from your body. Feel free to bring that right hand up and over. Windmill your hands back down to center as you place your left knee on the ground, coming into your Anjaneyasana. Lean into your hips and exhale as you cactus your arms open, allowing those hip flexors to really open up. Lift your back knee off the ground as you fold forwards, coming into your pyramid pose, making sure your back left foot is at a 45-degree angle. Planting your left foot in the air, reach your right leg up behind your body into a 3-legged dog, and exhale as you bring your knee to your nose. Inhale again, this time bringing your knee to the opposite side, extending your leg over, reaching up and back behind you for Wild Thing if you can. If not, come into side plank or just stay wherever your body is comfortable. Use your core to lift that right leg back off the ground. Stay in plank, or if you want to challenge yourself, come into an arm balance. Always honor where your body's at. I'm just giving you different variations. Lift your hips up and back into your downward facing dog. Step to the front of your mat. Inhale as you find a flat back. Then roll your spine back up to standing. Inhale, reaching your arms up overhead, and exhale as you fold forwards. This time lifting your right leg in the air in your supported warrior 3. Place your left hand on your mat as you reach your right hand up into the air, opening your body to the right side. Placing both hands on the ground, step that right foot back so that you're coming into a low lunge. And then reaching up with your left arm, finding a nice little twist, making sure that back right leg is active. Windmill your hand back down as you lower your right knee, lifting your body up into your Anjaneyasana, feeling that nice stretch in your right hip flexor. Bring both hands to heart center as you use the strength in your leg to lift your right knee off the ground. And now come into your pyramid pose on the opposite leg. So folding over your left leg, reaching your head forwards. Plug your hands in the ground as you use your core to lift that left leg up in the air into your 3-legged dog. Then exhale as you bring your knee to your nose. Inhale, reaching up behind you. This time, bring your right knee over to the left. You can stay in a side plank, or you can drop your leg in a fallen triangle and reach up and over into your Wild Thing, always honoring where your body's at. And if you want to play around a little bit more, feel free to come into a flying lizard. If not, just keep staying in plank. One day you'll build up the strength. Do a little bit of a back bend just to release your spine if you need it. Reach your hips up and back into your downward facing dog, pedaling out your feet, whatever your body needs this morning, this afternoon, whenever it is that you're flowing. Lift your right leg in the air. Step it forwards. And then reach your left hand in the air, using your right shoulder to press open that right knee. If you can, find a bind. If not, stay where you're at. And if you want even more of a stretch, you can straighten that right leg. Plant that left hand firmly in the ground as you reach up into your half moon pose, focusing on one point to find your balance. And then stepping that foot back down to the ground, come into your warrior two. Inhale as you reach that right arm up and over, finding a beautiful opening in the side of your body. Come back into your warrior two. Straighten the front leg as you just allow your body to fold forwards, coming into a wide-legged forward stretch. Twisting your hips side to side, finding any openness. Pivot your body towards the back of the mat as you reach your left foot up. Step to the front of your mat with the opposite foot this time. Reaching the opposite hand up, coming into a nice side angle pose. Using that shoulder just to press open your knee. Again, using your core strength, lift your back leg up so that you're in a half moon pose. Focusing on one point in front of you just to find your balance. As you can see, I often lose my balance. Lower your back leg down to the ground, coming into your warrior two. Inhale as you flip that front palm, reaching it up and over into your beautiful side stretch. Come back to warrior two, straighten that front leg, and again, just allow your head to hang heavy in a nice wide angled forward fold. Let the weight of your head do all the work. Don't force any movements. Keep it as organic as you can. Crouch down into your right leg so you can find a nice groin stretch. This can be uncomfortable. Some people can flatten their right heel, other people can't. Like I always say, honor where your body's at. Feel free to lift that left arm in the air. Then crab walk over to the left side. Keeping that right leg nice and active, reaching up with your right arm. Using your left shoulder to really press open that left knee. Place both hands on the ground. As this time we're just coming into a goddess squat, using our knees to open up our groin, pressing them open, and if you want more of a challenge, just play around with coming onto your tiptoes. Working the booty and their inner thighs. Place both hands on the mat as you straighten your leg, finding a bit more of a stretch this time. Walk your hands over to the right as you come into plank. Exhale as you chaturanga all the way down. And then press up. Exhale as you chaturanga all the way down to the ground. And then press your body up. Lift your hips up and back into your downward facing dog. Taking a few moments to get back to your breath. Lower your knees down, sitting in child's pose. Taking in deep breaths, just allow your breathing to return to normal. Letting your hips sink, finishing off your practice, spending as long as you need to in child's pose.